My name is Tarmack, and this is your Game Industry News Wrap-Up for the week of June 11th, 2016. Ponder this, friends, a 4-player co-op VR title called Star Trek Bridge Crew. I'd lead with a "this may sound ridiculous" line, but I think the fact of the matter is that a good bunch of you watching this are drooling at the thought of it just like I am. All I can think is, Ubisoft, please don't screw this up. Andrew House, president of Sony Interactive Entertainment, has finally confirmed that PlayStation Neo, or the more powerful version, is in development. It, however, won't be shown at E3, and they're not announcing a release date or price yet. As the rumors become reality in both the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One iterative upgrades, how long do you think I have to wait before I get to say "I told you so" regarding no more console generations as the consoles take over an upgrade model kinda like PCs? CDProjekt Red looks to be announcing something this year at E3 despite knowledge that Cyberpunk 2077 is a fair ways off. They put up an enormous picture on the side of some buildings near the E3 convention showing someone that looks nothing like Geralt from the neck up, but certainly does from the neck down, and what appears to be Siri holding a large mobile phone or tablet. It also turns out that they filed for a new trademark and logo with the European Union Intellectual Property Office for what appears to be a standalone Gwent card game. So now, just like Geralt, you'll be able to play a card game for days on end while ignoring everyone around you despite having better things that you should be doing. For those who have played Doom, you will probably know that the multiplayer is a mere shadow of how good the single-player campaign is, and frankly, that's not very Doom-like of them. Luckily, they're well aware that the multiplayer side, which it turns out was outsourced, is kinda shite. They're working on private matches with custom game settings, which, assuming that all goes well, will be included in a free update sometime this summer, according to the executive producer Marty Stratton. No mention of removing loadouts though, so for now, my nose remains stoutly raised in disgust. Battlefield 1 is looking like it's going to be an amazingly popular title if the trailer is anything to go by. It has a bit shy of 40 million views on YouTube and also a bit shy of 2 million likes. Wow, 1 like for 20 views. That's almost like what happens when you buy likes and views from botters online. Guess what else the game's gonna have? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, straight from the fires of hell itself, Battlefield 1 will have both map packs and microtransactions. Yay! I'm kinda bummed, as I've actually been looking forward to Battlefield 1. Not sure why I would have expected any differently, but I do look forward to seeing how they spin it at the press conference. Street Fighter V moves the bar a bit of the way closer to being a complete game later in June with the release of a cinematic story expansion. The story portion is about 3 to 4 hours, which isn't enormous, but then no single-player experience fighting game story has ever really been long, so that's actually quite substantial. I will report further when the game finally has an arcade mode, at which point I think it will be safe to say that it's a mostly complete product. My guess is September, so 7 months after it released. Overwatch got its very own controversy surrounding the hitbox detection in Blizzard's new hero brawler FPS, but sometimes third person, totally not a MOBA, but more like Hearthstone with guns or something like that. Basically, the hitboxes for characters are larger than the actual character models. This is especially prevalent when aiming for headshots, which can for many characters end up in an insta-kill, and it's also pretty generous to a character like Hanzo, who uses a bow where the arrows have travel time. The long and short of it is that gaming purists are furious that Blizzard would balance the game this way. Personally, I think it's great. Good players are still going to make tons of awesome plays and do really well. It's just that now, terrible players can get the occasional badass shot and still feel like the game is fun instead of getting ganked all the time. The harm is none. HTC has announced that new Vive orders are shipping within 2 to 3 business days of purchase, a stark difference from the Oculus Rift supply issues which have launch pre-orders still not having been fulfilled, despite Rift units going out to retailers. It appears that Valve thought ahead and figured maybe having a company on board that has done mass manufacturing before would be a good idea, like, say, HTC. And finally, assuming that you're watching this on the day it's set live, E3 press conferences and coverage begins today. With any luck, I'll be able to do up a news wrap-up for each of the major conferences. Hopefully my workflow is fast enough to handle it. We have Electronic Arts and Bethesda on the 12th, Microsoft, Ubisoft, PC Gaming, and Sony on the 13th. I'm a little bit concerned about the very short editing window that I'll have between Microsoft and Ubisoft on Monday. Anyways, I'll try to keep things updated. This has been your Game Industry News Wrap-Up for the week of June 11th, 2016. I'm Tarmack. Thanks for watching.